2021 is officially over, but I want to talk about some of the smaller movies that you might have missed. And these are some of the best movies I saw all year. They didn't necessarily make my top 10, but I want to talk about these smaller movies that you might have missed. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben. On this channel I love to talk about movies and TV, and if you also love to talk about movies and TV or just love to be on the ride with me, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Like I said, for the list of these are movies that did not make my honorable mentions, didn't make my top 10, but movies that I still think are fantastic. They're all movies that are worth your time. Plus, they're smaller movies, so they might have gone under the radar. They might not have had the support that they needed. But I'm telling you right now that these movies are the movies that you should go and check out. This is no top 10. I'm just going to give out a bunch of movies. We have 10 movies on this list, and let's start talking about them. The first movie I want to mention is Land. This movie premiered at Sundance just last year in 2021. This is one of those movies that I would have loved to see on the big screen. It didn't honestly get really a big theatrical run though. It's definitely comparable to Nomadland in the sense that it's definitely a slow burn. This movie is very slow. But if you're okay with a movie that can definitely test your patience, I think you'll have a really surprising time with this. It's a heartbreaking watch. This is no uplifter, but it is so touching and heartfelt. It has an incredibly poignant story. The performances are excellent from both Robin Wright and Demian Bichir, and this is one of the most gorgeous movies I saw all last year. The cinematography is jaw-dropping. The next movie I want to talk about is Long Weekend. This is a small sci-fi rom-com. This is the one that completely went under the radar out of all of these movies. The performances from Finn Wittrock and Zoe Chow are strong and charismatic. This movie completely caught me by surprise. I just fell in love with it. It's a feel-good watch. It's emotional at times. It's very funny at times. It's so easy to just watch and enjoy this relationship that's building on screen. It's not some perfect movie, and don't go in expecting it to be some masterpiece, but if you want a newer rom-com that has some sci-fi elements, changes it up a little bit, definitely check this one out. Then we have North Hollywood. This is a coming-of-age story that has a bunch of skateboard vibes. It's set in the 90s. It's an awesome hangout movie. It's so fun. It has style, comedy, and a great summer vibe to it. You can tell this movie has a lot of heart and passion behind it. The people working behind this movie, it's almost like a passion project for them. It's got Carly Shay from iCarly, Miranda Cosgrove herself. It's not really anything new, but it's such a fun time overall. Then we have No Man of God, which is a movie that I was not expecting to even really check out. I had not even heard of it until I saw a YouTube video about it, and it got me very interested. This movie is anchored by two great leading performances from both Elijah Wood and Luke Kirby. Luke Kirby is a fantastic actor. I have never seen him before, but he was honestly awesome as Ted Bundy. He got his mannerisms down pat. He's creepy and you're like almost afraid to just watch what's going on. The interrogation sequences are gripping. This is a very solid drama that brings a new light to an overused story. Then we have a movie that I saw at Sundance, and I don't necessarily know if it actually got a wider release at all. I think it's just shelved somewhere. This movie doesn't even have a trailer. It's One for the Road. This is a foreign film from Thailand. I would have never seen it if I didn't go to Sundance, and when I saw that it was playing at Sundance, I thought the concept was very interesting. I figured I would watch it, and this movie blew me by surprise. It's a beautiful film. I really loved it. It's a great film showcasing relationships, how we grow and how we bond with one another. The two leading performances from guys that have names that I do not want to butcher, they are excellent. The performances feel real. It does start to drag out at moments here and there, but this was so touching, and when this movie gets a release, hopefully it will, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, I will keep supporting this movie. When it does get released, make sure to check it out. And then we have the movie that honestly made me most emotional in 2021, Our Friend. I was a mess by the end of this movie. It was heartbreaking, it was heart-wrenching, it took my heart and put it in two. The performances are spectacular across the board. Jason Segel, who I love from How I Met Your Mother, and then Casey Affleck and Dakota Johnson were just incredible. None of these performances felt like they were overacting, which is important in dramas like these where you kind of just feel like, oh, I can't really relate to this. These characters aren't really selling it for me, especially the actors. They're not doing it. This movie sold me. Doesn't do anything new, doesn't throw any curveballs, but still by the end of this movie, I was a mess. And then Shiva Baby. This was 2021's Uncut Gems. Trying to stay as vague as I can regarding the plot. This is about a girl who goes to a Shiva. She runs into a lot of shit, that's all I'll say. I mean, the leading performance from Rachel Sennett was incredible. The score is completely nerve-wracking and the direction was fantastic from Emma Seligman. This is a captivating movie that kept me on the edge of my seat all throughout the under hour 30-minute runtime. There's no excuse to not watch this movie. Go check it out and you will be scared while watching it. And then we have a Christmas movie, Silent Night. Don't be too quick to assume though, this is no ordinary Christmas movie. This was a huge surprise. Silent Night is incredibly bleak, but it's also funny, poignant, and so touching. What started off as a comedy, but then when everything started to click, I was like, whoa, I did not expect this at all. It was an emotional roller coaster. Roman Griffin Davis from Jojo Rabbit fame is just stellar once again. I will say some of the tonal shifts are drastic and can definitely totally shift your experience with this movie. Like I said, it's an emotional roller coaster. At the end of the day, though, this is a beautiful film. The final 15 minutes, I was just like, what is this? I was so surprised. That reaction was very welcomed though. I just did not expect this movie to blow me away like it did. And yet another rom-com, Together Together. This movie is charming, it's witty, and it's oh so heartwarming. It has everything that you're looking for in a fantastic romantic movie. The jokes are laugh out loud funny. They're not just chuckle funny, they are funny. The two lead performances amplified this movie to make it more than just a regular rom-com. But it's not even just a rom-com, it has dramatic elements and it's touching. This one is undeniably a fun time, and yet another movie that you should check out. But finally, a very small horror movie, The Vigil. I talked about this movie just very briefly in my October, what I watched this month. I watched it for this month of Spooktober. It is a great movie to watch in that month, let me just say. The Vigil is a simple yet effective take on the horror genre. It slowly creeps up on you, and once it has you locked in, it does not let you go until the credits roll. The scares are crafted in such a disturbing way. I was on the edge of my seat, filled with angst. Dave Davis gives a great nuanced performance, and writer-director Keith Thomas has a bright future ahead of him. I cannot wait to see what he does next in the horror genre. But that is it. Those are my picks for the best movies of 2021 that you might have missed. Make sure to let me know down below though, are there any movies that I missed that I did not talk about at all this year? I'd love to hear some underrated movies. I'm always interested in a movie recommendation, so let me know all of that and more down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you check out all of these movies. If you did enjoy it, consider giving it a like as well as subscribing and hitting that notification bell to get notified whenever new videos like this go live. I can't wait to see all the movies that 2022 brings us, and I hope you guys are excited as well. Thank you again for watching. My name is Ben. People call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.